Hello, welcome everyone to this live stream. Let me see who we have here. We have Kazim Ridwa, welcome man. Yoshi, should I spell your name like this? If so, welcome. Marcos Dantas, hi man, how are you man? We have Rafael Menezes, welcome Rafael to this live stream as well. Hi João Patricio, and this one is a friend of mine from Portugal. Really nice to see you here, man. We have Amina, hi, welcome to this live stream. Yeah, so soon we are going to get starting this. It's 3 p.m. here in Europe, and I'm streaming from Paris, which is quite nice. Hello everyone, thank you. Moasani, welcome to this live stream. Really nice to see you here. So I think we can start by showing you what I'm going to talk today. And again, thank you so much for coming today. And in case you don't know me, my name is Nuno and I do work for Algolia, which is Algolia, if in case you don't know, is a search as a service company, let's say. So basically, if you want to have a nice and powerful search bar in your website, you can use Algolia. And today it's been a while that I actually don't do nothing with Laravel and Algolia together, and I thought and actually proposed to my team why I don't stream the process of building something with Laravel and Algolia. And yeah, I'm super excited because it's been a while what I don't do Laravel and Algolia together, so it will be super fun, I think, and I'm really glad that you guys are there to see me do that. Yeah, hi Jez, really nice to have you here. Thanks for coming. You love Algolia, I do love Algolia as well. Yeah. So in this live stream, we are going to do two things. So first of all, I want to build a search UI, of course, with Algolia. Algolia allows me to build a powerful search UI, so I'm going to use Algolia for that. And for the backend, I'm going to use Laravel, which is a PHP framework. And in case you haven't heard about Laravel, let me show you what it's like. I'm quite sure that everyone here have heard about Laravel, but in case you don't, Laravel is a PHP framework that allow you to build web apps. And since Algolia is search bar as a service, let's say, we do have integrations that work quite well with Laravel. And by the way, tell me on the chat if you can hear me correctly, if the resolution sounds okay, if everything sounds good to get started. And if it does, I'm gonna start right away. So yeah, Laravel is a web framework for PHP. Algolia is search as a service company, which allows you to have a very nice, powerful search in your website. So today I propose that we are going to build a fresh Laravel application from scratch. And use Algolia to have a search bar on it. So this live stream, it's basically being in two topics. In the first one, we are going to send data to Algolia, and for that we are truly using Laravel behind the scenes. And then we are going to build a nice search UI so we can search in our products. So I think this is very nice TLDR. Basically, you are going to build a building search UI around my products. Okay. Hi Alex, nice to see you. I do know that you are French, so welcome to the stream. Hi Etienne, really nice to see you here. So yeah, I propose that we get started. What do you think? So let's go to the first step. To get started, we want to send data to Algolia. So since we are building something around products, in Laravel, we can use the models to actually have my domain logic attached to this product. And because it's my workflow, I'm going to do some TDD here to actually make sure that my pipeline of indexing works as expected. So I thought, let's do some TDD to make sure this works as expected. And as testing framework, I'm gonna use past PHP. And if you haven't heard it, it's very similar to PHP unit. So you will be feeling at home, I think. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing I want to make sure in my website, and again, this is a fresh Laravel application. So if I open my browser here, you'll see that I basically have nothing in this website. Just the main welcome page here, some links that came by default in Laravel. So it's a truly fresh Laravel application from scratch. And the only thing I have done on top of it is install this PHP testing framework, which is very similar to PHP unit. Pest for the win. Indeed, man, I'm super attached to Pest, so I couldn't have done this stream without Pest. So let's get started. First thing I want to do is make sure I have products. So let's test. It has products. That's the first thing I want to do. It's make sure I have products. And to do that, I'm going to actually assert that I have 20 products in my database. Okay. So very basic stuff. I'm going to just use have product here and make sure I have 20 products in my database. So let's run my test suite. And the first thing it does, it tells me is that product do not exist. So let's indeed apply some TDD into it. My console is telling me that this class doesn't exist. So I need to create a class, which is a model in Laravel. So I'm going to just make artisan make model product with a migration and a factory. In case you don't know, this is kind of a shortcut. So you can create your model in Laravel, but you also can create at the same time the migration and also the factory. And I do not need a seeder for this. So yeah, I have a model created, the factory created, the migration created. So it works quite nice. So let's rerun my test suite again and let's see what it tells me. Now it's telling me that I don't have a database for my products. And so this happens because if you have used Laravel before, you need to specify in your test case that you use the database in this testing suite. So what we are going to do will be create the database. So I need to make sure that I'm using SQLite first of all, because I don't want to use a MySQLite behind the scenes just for this demo. Then I need to use the refresh database trait on it. So I'm going to go to past, and I'm going to say, hey, please use the test case, but also the refresh database class. And I'm going to make this a little bit nice here, and I'm going to use illuminate. And by the way, I do use Sublime Text all the time because I love it. Hi, Julie. Nice to see you here. Julie is a colleague of mine at Algolia. Really nice to have her here as well. So illuminate foundation testing, I think, and refresh database. Let's see if it works. And it works. It works as expected. Now it's telling me that, let me make this a little bit bigger. Yeah, it's telling me that, oh, I do expect to see 20 products on a database, but I'm seeing 0. So far we have the model created. So if I go to app, you see that I have my model created, which is quite nice. And please tell me if I'm going too fast, because there is some parts in the Laravel that I just know them, and maybe something may sound obvious for me, but not for you. So don't hesitate and ask me in the comments if something should be explained it better. So here I have my model already. That's why the error on the class that doesn't exist was fixed. Then I have added my refresh database class here that can be used in my test suite. And then it's telling me, hey, I did went to your database, but I did found 0 products instead of the 20 that I would expect to see. So what we need to do now is that we need to actually create 20 products. So let's move to our storage. Resources, database, there we go. Then we have this migrations schemas that have products here. Now, this is how the table products looks like in the beginning. So we have an ID and a timestamp. And so far, to make our test pass, we actually don't need nothing else. But we do need 20 products. So what we are going to do is that we are going to create 20 products using the factory method. Now, of course, in the real world application, you probably would want to do, I don't know, a call to your API, or basically getting the products from a JSON schema, or even have your own admin panel behind the scenes to actually populate the database with some products. But for my demo, I actually just want to see some products in the database. So I'm going to just use the factory here. So let's do app product class, and I want to create 20, and let's pass the create method. So again, you would do something real here, but for me, for my demo and to have fun, I just want to create 20 products behind the scenes, and this is create here. So I launch my test suite, and it's indeed working as expected, which is quite nice. So if I go to feature, here I have 20 products in my database. Great. I do have my first story working as expected. Let me check the chat here. Hi Rocco, really nice to have you here. Felipe Fontana, the Liz Light team is very beautiful. Well, it's just GitHub live team, I think. GitHub extended or whatever. It's a team like that. Don't hurt my eyes. So yeah, I know, light teams, dark teams. I do like light teams during the day and dark teams at night. But yeah, I do like this one. GitHub inspired, yeah, that's the name of the team of Sublime Text. So yeah, I think João Patricio, maybe you can share the link on the chat, which is quite nice. Yeah, dark mode for Sublime. I do use Material Team, but only at night. During the day, I like to have this light behind, I think. So yeah, let's move on. So what do we have here? By the way, I have some notes here because I did want to make sure that I have some kind of guidelines to this stream. And the next thing I have here is that we want to make sure that our products actually have properties, right? Because if we go to this schema of the products, we do have an ID and we do have the timestamps, which is created at and updated at, but we may want to have a title and a price and a description of the product, all those cool stuff. So first of all, let's write a test for it. And here I want to write, it has a title, a description, and a price. And for this test, this will be very simple. I just want to have or grab the first product. Let me put this in the middle. There you go. I want to grab the first product in my database, and then I want to make sure that maybe the title is not empty, and also the description, and also the price. So yeah, this is like the common stuff that a product would have, right? A title, a description of the product, and the price. And probably in the most complex applications, this would be a little bit bigger than this, of course, right? So let's run our test suite, and it's complaining because the title doesn't exist, which makes sense, because if we go again to our migration, we only have ID and timestamp so far. So let's create those fields in our database. This would be table string with a title. This will always also be a string or a text. Let's make a text because it might be a little bit bigger. So text with a description, and obviously the price, which is an integer. Don't play with floats, man. Let me check the chat. Are you going to add image in the product? I think not today. It might get a little bit complicated, but maybe next time. Kazim, lol. Yes, lol indeed. So yeah, an integer for the price. Okay, so let's run our test suite. And what do we have here? Price doesn't exist. Of course not. It's the other way around. This is the integer and this is the price. What do we have here? Not null constraint failed. Product's title do not exist. Yeah, I know why. It's because in our product factory, we don't specify how we have a title and the product and the description and the money, the price, I mean. So here, this would be something like faker title, faker text, I think. Yeah, let's do it that way. I think there is a title. Let's try it out. Not sure about this one though, but yeah, a description, and this will be just simple text, and the price, which will be random number. In case you haven't played with Faker before, Faker is some kind of testing library that allows you to build random data. Because like when you're doing testing or you want just to build a demo, you want some fake data. You don't want to explicitly specify an array of titles. So you want some fake data, and Faker is perfect for that. And for the price, I want a random number that have 2 decimal cases. So let's run this again. And we have this working. We have a product with title, description, and price. And by the way, why did we forgot to rename this? This is not an example test. This is a product test, right? Let's make this a little bit better. And yeah, this is working nice now. So we have products, we have a product with a title, description, and the price. Quite nice. Table integer price. Thank you so much. I actually fixed it because of you, because I saw that comment. Thank you. I do this all the time. Yeah, why I was waiting for that. Yeah, I'm sorry, man, but I think with images it can be a little bit tricky, and I don't have. I think I don't have the time today because I want to cover a little bit of stuff. So yeah, let's recap. We now have a test that checks if we have products. We now have a test if that tests we have a title, the description, and the price. So yeah, let's move forward. What is the next thing we want to do? So again, let's recap what we are going to do today. So we are going to build a search UI around my products. And we need to send data to Algolia, which is what I'm doing so far. I'm kind of building my backend before sending the data to Algolia specifically. And then we are going to build a search UI. So still in this first step, we actually need to send data to Algolia. And how can we do that in Laravel? Well, you probably have heard about Laravel Scout, right? And Laravel Scout, it's the traditional way of sending data to Algolia and also perform some search operations. Now, today I'm going to introduce you to something a little bit different, which is Scout Extended. Now, don't get intimidated. Scout Extended is the same thing as Laravel Scout, and the only difference is that it had some features on top of it. Okay? So, no big differences. The only thing is that it adds more commands to your app and also more stuff that you can do, okay? So we are going to use Laravel Scout today. So yeah, let's require it through Composer, like normal. So it's just a normal package. And this package will, of course, include Laravel Scout, but also some extra dependencies for Scout Extended. We do have some time for questions. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. And thank you so much, man. We have some people here in the stream. Quite happy today for that. So yeah, Composer is pulling up Scout Extended, which is already in the version 1.9. So what do we have here? So again, it includes Laravel Scout as normal. It already includes Algolia by default, so you don't have to worry about it. And it's the same thing as usual. So what would you do with Laravel Scout? You would probably... oh fuck, I actually forgot what I have to do with Scout. Yeah. We need to go to Products Model. And we want to make this model searchable. So in order to send the data to Algolia, we actually need to make the model searchable. That's the way it works with Laravel Scout. So let's type Laravel Scout searchable, just like that, and then you use the trait here. There we go. And actually, for all of this, I might want to write the test for it, because otherwise I'm just writing code. I'm not sure what I'm writing, so let's test it. It can be searched, or it has search, let's say it this way. And what I'm expecting is that when I search for something, I expect the response from Algolia to contain the same array or the same amount of results of my local database. So let the search equals response count to product count. Yep. So yeah, when I search to Algolia, I do expect to see the same amount of records of my local database. What do I expect to see? And it's working. Now, it's important to mention why it's working. Again, it's working because we have included the trait, yep, which is cool. We are also playing with Scout Extended, which cables Algolia behind the scenes. We don't need to worry about it. And one thing we don't need to worry about it as well is that when we go to my config, yeah, let me publish this. So vendor publish, and I want to publish the Scout one. This is important to mention because it's working in my machine because I already have set up my Algolia credentials. Now, I do have some credentials in my machine, and some of those credentials are actually my Algolia app ID, but also my Algolia secret. So I don't need to specify them during the live stream, otherwise you will know my secret, and I don't want you to see that. Okay, so that's why it's working as expected. But yeah, if this was in your machine, you would need to first require Scout Extended, second, specify the trait in your models that you want to be searchable, and finally, you would need to specify your credentials in your .m file. Okay, that's the way it works, the installation. All right, so let's rerun our test suite, make sure everything is working as expected, which it should. And yeah, we have search, title, description, price, and products. Let's take 1 minute to see the chat here. Nuno, his GitHub profile is freaking awesome. Thank you so much. Hi team, really nice to have you in this stream. Nuno done some great work with PHP, Laravel, and Algolia. Thank you. Laravel and Algolia are two amazing technologies, so it's a pleasure to work with. Is searchable a method on search? Is search a method from searchable? Yes, it is. So let's recap that. If I go to product search, and that's why we should write tests first, make sure they fail, and I'm gonna do that right away. So if I actually didn't import this trait right here, you would see probably search doesn't exist. And there we go. Call undefined method, search doesn't exist. So then you would implement Scout Extended, add the trait, configure your credentials, and then you would probably rerun the test suite, and the test suite would work. That's the way it works with TDD. So yeah, the searchable trait, if we go to the definition, you will see a search method on it. And there we go. Public static function search, which takes a query and a callback, blah, 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 and all those things. Quite nice. More point past is amazing. I love. Thank you. I also love past. It's 3 great technologies. Which font are you using in the terminal and Sublime? I cannot remember, but I will make sure I will make a tweet about it once I finish this live. Thank you. I will make a tweet about it. Thank you. Follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is this one. Okay. So feel free to follow me there, and we will chat after this stream. Thank you. Nuno, I had my first opportunity to use Algolia in my site, and it's working. It's clean, it's easy to use, much faster than. Yeah, thank you. All right, let's keep going. Otherwise, this stream will not finish today. Okay, so we have the search in our pipeline. And I think concerning the first thing we are trying to do, which is sending data to Algolia, this should be working as expected. And to make sure of that, I'm gonna just type artisan migrate, which is not working. Oh, because we don't have our SQLite database. By the way, I'm using SQLite, so I need to create the file. I already have changed my env things right here, so I do have SQLite. I have created my database, and now I'm going to just apply an artisan migrate so I can play a little bit with my search. So I'm going to open Tinker, and I'm going to type product count. I do expect to see 20. There you go. I'm going to type product search, and again I do expect to see 20. I'm going to get the first here, and I have this specific product, and finally I'm going to actually search for stuff. So if I type all of them, and I'm going to just search for this specific one. Oh, it's not all. Oh yeah, it's get. Yeah, and I'm gonna just find this specific one. This is the cool thing. So I did search for this query, and Algolia did give me this one, which is cool. So I get one. Yep. If I remove, for example, let's add a typo here. Let's, for example, search for this. Yeah, I have 3 products. Cool. Let's remove the key here. Yep, it's working cool. Nice. So yeah, let's move forward. Remember when I told you that Scout Extended is a little bit have more features than Laravel Scout by default? And the reason is, this is important to mention, a small disclaimer, the reason why Scout Extended have more features than more features than Laravel Scout, it's because Scout Extended was made to work with Algolia only. That's why it have a little bit more features. Let me show you some of them. So I'm gonna type art scout, and this is the list that we have. So we have Scout Flush, which allows you to delete the index at Algolia side. We can import, which is the normal thing with Laravel Scout. We have this optimize, which is quite nice. Let me show you how it looks like. Now again, with a normal product, you probably would need to go to their dashboard to kind of configure stuff. But with Scout Extended, we have this nice Art Scout Optimize that kind of tailors the configuration at Algolia based on the information of your model. So here, for example, with this Scout Optimize, I was able to detect that the title should be searchable, the description should be searchable, and the price. And stuff such as the ID, for example, and the created date, that not should be searchable, which is cool. So yeah, let me check what we have here. Oh, we have this one. This one is dope. Let me show you. Art Scout status. Check it out. This one was my favorite one when I've developed this integration. And what it does is that basically shows you the current state with Algolia compared with the state locally. So here, for example, I know that I have 20 local records, but I have 20 remote records as well, which I know I'm synchronized with Algolia. Quite nice. In the settings, I'm also synchronized. So again, this allows me to create some kind of backup of my settings. So if I change this, so I want, for example, to create it to be searchable, which not makes any sense. But if I would do that, Algolia will tell me, oh, the local got updated, we need to kind of sync it. So quite nice, all right? Yeah, so let me check if we have something else. Did I? I'm not sure if I did this. Yeah, it's making sure that all the local settings, records, and everything is matching Algolia. So yeah, this is quite nice to run in the context of a CI, for example, if you want to make sure that everything it's okay to production, basically. So yeah, let me check the shot here. Can you please show the config sync, Scout sync? That is an amazing feature to be able to check the config into Git. Yeah, so again, it might not be that clear because I'm too excited. But so the difference between Optimize allows you to generate a settings file, basically. And that settings file will be tailored to your model. So here again, I've generated a settings file that the title and description, the price are searchable. If you probably have a user model searchable, you will have different attributes here. So Algolia it's smart and is able to, in Scout Extended as well, and is enabled to detect that those attributes should be the searchable ones. Now, the sync command, it's basically to make sure that all those settings, like the file locally and the number of records and everything, it's actually up to date concerning what we have at Algolia. And again, your data is at Algolia, the settings is at Algolia remotely, so you want to make sure that all of those things are actually in balance and synchronized. So that's why we have the Scout sync. And yeah, as Florian is saying, the Scout sync allows you to create this file right here, so you can actually commit this file and have a version of your history of settings, which is quite damn useful. Again, if you lose your Algolia account, if you want to change account, if you want to change index or whatever, you will always have this file locally, which you can apply Git on it and have versions in this file, which is quite nice. I'm using it all the time. So yeah, let's move forward. So yeah, let's go here to my README. What do we have here? So we have done this one. We have sent data to Algolia. We made sure that that data is searchable thanks to our task suite written in past. And now we need to build a search UI. So we have products in the backend, but now we need to make sure that we have products in the front end, right? Showing you a search bar and a list of results, and also some filters in the left. So yeah, this will be a little bit uncomfortable to me because I'm expert in Laravel and PHP and backend stuff. But on the front, I will do my best to actually build a search UI for you guys today. So yeah, let's get started. So what do we need to do? So, yep, one thing it's important to know is that there is two ways of building a front-end search experience with Algolia. The first one is the slowest one, let's say, which is you have the search running in your backend, meaning that when the user performs a search operation in the front, it goes to your backend, then from your backend you go to Algolia, and then you get the answer from Algolia and you give the response to the users. Now, this is the traditional way of doing this with PHP, right? So with Laravel Scout, you can do it that way. Now, the way that we are building it today is the front-side search. So what we are going to do is that we are going to use JavaScript integrations from Algolia to actually make search from the front directly to Algolia to make it really, really fast. Like it takes 20 milliseconds or less. It's super fast. So let's do it that way. So we need to get started. And the first thing you have to do is check our template. So if I go to resources, views, welcome.blade, this is the page that we are seeing in the screen. So here I have the Laravel thing. So if I type, for example, 222, I refresh my thing here, and yeah, I have 222. Let's put this on the right there. So I'm gonna remove all of this because we don't need it for our search experience. And we don't need this as well. And we don't need this as well. So let's remove all of that. There we go. So now we should have a blank state, fresh state. There we go. If you have any questions, meanwhile, don't hesitate. It's always good to make a break from time to time. So yeah, we need the search bar again, and we need the products showing up. The products that we did put in our backend, but we also sent to Algolia when we did perform the artisan migrate. So yep, I'm gonna open the guides from the documentation, because yeah, I do work for Algolia, but from time to time I need to check my own documentation because I don't remember. So let's go to developer documentation, API reference. I want this, building search UI. This is the best thing ever if you want to get started with JavaScript. In Algolia, of course. Did you mock the Algolia test result or actually eat Algolia's server while testing? Excellent question, Yogi. We did eat Algolia indeed behind the scenes. I do have a plan where I don't care about the number of records that I'm actually expanding, so we did eat Algolia for our test result. Of course, and probably if you have like massive data behind the scenes, you probably would want to use the null driver from Scout to build this. In my case, since I only have 20 products, it's okay to eat Algolia in my test suite. Are strings supported where queries? Good question, Florian. So yeah, we do allow to have filters by string, and I think I may be able to show you today. Not sure though, but yeah, basically you need to pass a query parameter, call it filters, and you would do attribute value, but you also need to add that specific attribute to the attributes to setting on a dashboard. Thanks for answering. Yeah. So let's get started. So let's keep on installation here. And because I want to go fast, let's use the CDN directly here. So what we are using, tell me if the font is okay, because I like to work with big fonts. Tell me if the font is okay. Even if it is, the way that we are building this front end with JavaScript and to go directly to Algolia, we have two ways of doing that with Algolia. The first one is using the JavaScript client directly, but this is a very low level client that doesn't come with any defaults or any kind of themes or widgets, so it's basically low-level connection to the API using JavaScript. And we also have this amazing InstantSearch widgets, which is basically a quick way of building a search UI. Okay, you might want to use your favorite flavor, which is, for example, Vue.js, React, but for me, I just like plain JavaScript, so I think I'm gonna use the normal InstantSearch. Okay, so I did include those scripts in the top of my file right there. And now let's move forward. I'm gonna copy the content, just like a noob doing front-end development. So I'm gonna copy this right here. Okay. Then looking at this snippet, I obviously need to configure my credentials. So this is the app ID and this is the search only key. Now I do know that Scout Extended allows us to grab this from the application, because remember, we are in the Laravel application where we did already configure our credentials at the end of this file, right? So we can use those in our front end. And how can you do that? So to grab the app ID, you can just do like that. Config, this is probably Scout, Algolia ID. We need to check out this, I'm not sure. So let's do a small alert box here. And yep, we do have this ID. And then we need a search only key. And this is very important, is that you don't want to use this key on your front end. Remember, this key is like with too much privileges. You cannot use it on your front end because users may grab it from the HTML. You want to use your search only key, which is the key that only allows searches. If users grab it, it's fine. And for that, we can use something from Scout Extended, which is the facade that grabs a search only key. And for that, you just have to do Algolia, Scout Extended, facades, Algolia again. And then you type search key. And I need to check what to put here because I cannot remember. So yeah, here I have the snippet, small helper here. Puff. So yeah, Algolia, Scout Extended, facades, Algolia again, search key for my app product. So when you do this, you will get a search key only for this model, and the time life of that search key will rotate every 24 hours, which is very nice. It's so damn useful. With just one line, you get a search key where you don't need to worry about security concerns. Quite nice. So yeah, let's make sure this is working. We also need the index name, which is products. Again, every time you have a model which is searchable, the index name will be the plural version of the model. So here will be just products. Then we have search add widgets, and we added a search box, it's, and that's it. Okay, so I think we need a div for each one of those. So let's add this. Let's add those. Div ID for my search box, and also a div ID for my list of its. Is this working? I have no idea. Yes, it is. Did you? Okay, cool. So yeah, check it out. I can search for stuff, which is quite nice. And check out how much fast it is. Like, let's check the times. Actually, it's been a while that I don't check these things. So it takes like 15 milliseconds, which is damn fast. It's very, very fast. Obviously, we have a search experience, which is very ugly search experience because we just have text and JSON and all those things. It is awesome, right? It's been a while that I don't play with this, so that's why I'm so excited. Anyways, we have a search, we have this JSON, but it would be cool if you have some styling, right? And I do remember that this is supposed to give us some styling indications. Yep, there we go. Load the style. So it's some kind of Algolia theme for this kind of demo projects, which is the case, that we can use to style our components very nicely. So let's include that here. So yeah, this is a small topic in the section of the documentation that I saw previously that allows you to theme your search experience very fast. And yep, it did had some bordering here. We also have some kind of boxes for each search experience, which is nice. But I think very quickly we can make this a little bit better. Let me add some very old way style, some padding with 8 pixels, but also right there. Yep, I know I'm not using Tailwind or any kind of cool framework, but in Tailwind this would probably be something like this, I believe, right? I'm not a Tailwind expert, but I think would be something like that. So let's rerun this, and yep, it's a little bit better now, right? We have a search box here. We have our items on the bottom, which are working as expected. Quite nice. Blake, please make this a code open source. I will, I promise. Just after this stream, I'm gonna commit this, all the code I have here, I'm gonna commit it, and I'm gonna share the repo on Twitter. Okay, so let's move forward, because right now we have a search experience, but it would be cool if you have some styling here, right? Like showing the price in a better way, showing the description and the title, not only this JSON. And again, this is like the get starting section of InstantSearch. And again, all of this is InstantSearch. This library is InstantSearch made by my colleagues at Algolia, but we can add widgets and all of those cool things if we visit the API reference of InstantSearch. There we go. And here we can have panels, things for voice search, infinite scrolling, menus on the left, range sliders on the right, toggle menus. This is tons of features. Let's, for example, let's get started by actually customize this its one, because we have its, and again, those its are some kind of JSON thing, but we want to have some styling there. So let's click on its here, and then let's go to templates, and on templates, it is templates. Let me check. Item. There we go, it is templates. So in these examples here, I can just copy, for example, this thing, There we go. And let's add it to our widget of its right there. There we go. Let's apply some cool style here because I don't have Visual Studio. Just going old school, Sublime Text. There you go. And let me, yeah, let's put header 2 with just the title to get started. With just the title, then let's use, oh, this is way too big. Let's do like this. There we go. Let's add the description and finally the price, which will be, this exists like the strong thing? I'm not sure. It's been a while that I don't do HTML, but let's see it. And something that I want for the price is the $sign, which I don't have in my keyboard. I have a French keyboard. So let's copy this $sign right here and add it in this price. Let's refresh. Use of undefined constant title, assumed title. Oh, yeah. Yeah, important point. In Laravel, this is kind of the blade syntax thing. You put the double mustache thing and then you put the Laravel variable in the blade. But since we are doing just normal JavaScript, I may want to escape this and just use the arroba behind the scenes. And watch out! Quite nice, right? We have the name of the product, which is some kind of the prefix of a person, but in the real world, this would be the title of the product. Then we have the description of the product, and finally we have the price. So if I search for Ducimos, I do have only Ducimos descriptions. Quite nice. If I search for prof here, I only have profs. Quite nice, right? Great. Just a quick stop to go to the comments, and then we are going to finish this out. How do you auth only search? Even the search box is accessible without login. Okay, so you are probably asking how the hell are we are doing search operations, like what is the credentials that are used here. So again, we are using Scout extended with our JavaScript libraries at Algolia to actually compute a credential key that can only be used in this website for this model with a 24 hours duration, and also for with search only credentials. So here, for example, I have the app ID, which I grab here, but also a search key for this specific model generated exclusively by Scout Extended. This is a hell of a job that if you would do this by your own, you probably will take some time on it. So again, Scout Extended is like blazingly fast for this kind of stuff. Kazim, it looks good. Indeed, it looks good. For a guy that doesn't do front end, this is, look, the best website I ever designed. How can you develop in PHP if you can't type a $sign? You are so right, and I'm so stupid. And I have a $sign in my keyboard. I don't know why I was searching for the $sign. Never mind. It must be the nervous of the stream, right? I think he meant unauthenticated users not being able to perform a search. Yeah, okay, can you rephrase your question so I make sure I do understand your question? Because even with the Kazim help, I'm not sure if I'm able to understand your question. And meanwhile, I'm going to move forward. So finally, we do have a search. We do have its styled in the nice way. And let's finish by have a widget. Because again, if I go here, I have tons of widgets, very cool widgets, but I want to use a cool one. Let me check. What I can use. Let's use this one. Range slider. So the range is a thing that you can kind of grab a wheel and then move, like, for example, with the price would make sense. Yeah, so let's use this one. Let's copy the content of this thing. And let's put it here. So again, search, add widgets, and one of the widgets that I want to use is the range slider. Okay. I do need a div for it, so I'm gonna create a div just below the search box because it sounds good for me. Like, I do need to put this padding, this ugly padding. I think I did. I need to put it. Is this working? It's not working. Okay, let's see why. Oh, because I forgot the comma here. Yep. And yep, it's working. Even though I do have like 0 to 0 thing, I think I need to specify the minimum and the max value. So for the max, since I remember that we did like a 2 integers number, but let me check it out. Yeah, we have a random number with 2 integers, so let's just say that the max is 5, it's 100. And yep, it's working as expected. There we go. So this is how easy it is to work with InstantSearch, because if you would use an API client written in JavaScript to do these kind of things, it would take a massive amount of time. So it's very nice that you can just build quick search experiences like that. So for example, if I want an officia, but an officia that is sheep officia like this, and I do have only those two, but if I go there, I have like this one as well. So quite nice. So again, this is like the range slider, but we have way more widgets like those. Consider a Laravel application similar to GitHub. If we search for a code without logging in a private repo, the code will be invisible. If the user is authenticated, can see the private repo's code. So you mean if I want to generate a search key that would only work for this specific user? I see. I need to get back on you on that, but I do understand the need. So you want to generate a search key for data that you just want that specific person to see. And that is a very good question. But I'm 100% sure that we have a guide for that in our documentation. Don't hesitate and go there and search for it, like search for with some keywords like authenticated search or something like that, but you will find the answer in the docs. And if you don't hesitate and write an email for our support, because I'm pretty sure they will be happy to help you on that. But very good question. But I'm sure that we have clients using it like that. Yeah. Thank you, man. That's a very good question. Is this eating Algolia for every change in the slider, or once initially to load all products and then filtering locally for the slider changes? I'm quite sure that is hitting Algolia all the time, but we can check that. So I'm gonna open the network tab, and I'm gonna just move this. Yeah, it's hitting Algolia all the time. So there is a reason for that, and the reason is that here we are working with 20 products, but probably you would have 1 million products. So if you have 1 million products, you cannot load in cache or in the browser 1 million products. So you would need to hit Algolia every time. But since it's very fast, you don't even have a problem for it, right? It's like blazingly fast, as you can see. Okay. So let's hit the scenario where, yeah, let's add one more widget. And the widget that I want to show you is the pagination one. Oops, sorry. Because here, for example, because I'm actually building a website at the moment where I want to build some kind of range slider with products, where I just want to have like 4 products, and then I want to have a button that changes those 4 products all the time. And for that, I'm going to use the pagination widget for that, which is you just type configure like that. Yeah, configure like that. Then you want to say that, oh, I want to have 4 hits per page, which should it's not like that. I need to check it. Give me a sec. Configure like that. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna copy, just better. Okay, and then I want to have 4 products like that. There we go. So I just have 4 products, and I know that I want to have some kind of pagination, so I can just use this pagination widget right there. There we go. Poof. And then I need a div for it. which I'm gonna put at the end of the it's. So as you can see, like, it's super cool to add widgets with InstantSearch. This is pagination, sorry. There we go, and let's run it again. Yep. So yeah, this is so nice. So again, 4 products, which I would probably style this pagination to have it here on the right with only this button, probably the move forward button. But yeah, it gives a nice experience, some kind of slide experience. I like it. But yeah, this is the pagination widget, and they have so more. It's super cool. So yeah, I think we made the tour. Yeah, we send data to Algolia. I think we made all of it. Let me check. We send data to Algolia, and we also have built a search UI with those data. So yeah, we finish our demo. And understandable, yeah, just something to consider with monthly operations. Yeah, I mean, every case is a case. Of course, you probably have a specific scenario where you might want to cache stuff, or I don't know, but yeah, indeed. It's blazing. It is blazing. Can you import images into Algolia and return them into the search? Yes, you can. So the way that you would do that is that in your Laravel application, you will store your images in your storage folder or in your external provider, but then you would index the URL of the image at Algolia side. So we would probably have in your product factory here, or in your product model, of course. Let me just open the factory here. You would have some kind of image URL right here, okay? And this will be Faker, random image or whatever. So yeah, you would store the URL only. And once you do that, the URL goes to Algolia, and on the front end, when you are tailoring the template, you probably will do something like image source, and then would be the image URL that you have at Algolia. So yeah, that's the way it would work. At least it's the way I do it. Thanks for asking, though. That's a very good question. So yeah, we just made our search UI around my products experience. Way. Quite nice, I think. Thank you so much for being in that side. If you have any final question, feel free to ask. If you don't, I'll also be on Twitter with my handler, which is, again, Nuno Maduro, which you can make any questions you want. You can obviously use Algolia Twitter handler as well if you want to make any questions. And free, if you like Algolia, feel free to visit algolia.com website. We have amazing stories there, also other examples and videos. So yeah. You use a mechanic keyboard? No, I'm using, I don't know, this is a mechanic keyboard? I'm using the Apple one, you know, with the Bluetooth thing. So yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much for being in that side. It was super nice. Probably we are going to get back with more streams. It will not be me because I've made my Laravel thing with PHP, but we have more people in the pipeline to do some Vue.js stuff, Go stuff, Java, C#, and all of those crazy cool technologies that I don't work with. But they are very nice. Thank you so much for everything. Yeah. All right. See you guys next time. Thank you. Goodbye.